Today, we are going to be doing a relaxing 30-minute yoga flow, focusing on strengthening and opening up our hips as well as our shoulders and low back. Be sure to grab some water and plenty of space. If you would like to grab a pillow to pop under your hips at the beginning if you're feeling a little bit tight. So we're going to be sitting on our knees, hips nice and tall. Now, if it's uncomfortable, you can always pop a cushion underneath your hips so that you have a little bit of space, or you can always sit crisscrossed applesauce. Sitting up nice and tall, grounding our hips down into the floor, lengthening the spine, pulling the core muscles in. Right hand on sternum, left hand on diaphragm, as we start to move into our prana, which is our ujjayi breath today. Breathing in and out through our sinus cavity. In and out, finding that gorgeous, strong breath. Waking up the parasympathetic nervous system. As we inhale, reach our hands up to the ceiling and down through heart center, opening up our hearts for today. Inhale, reaching to the ceiling, bringing kindness and thoughtfulness to our words. And again, up and to your third eye, opening it up, finding that compassion for all. And again, we're going to switch our hands to the other side. Deep breath, moving back into that prana or that ujjayi breath in our sinus cavity. In and out through the nose. In and out through the nose. Breathing gently, finding that gentle connection to our bodies. Inhale again, sun salutation, exhale down through heart center, and again to our mouths, bringing kindness to our speech. And again, inhale up and to our third eye, taking a moment. Gently, slowly start to wake up the body, finding that gentle connection, reaching the hands behind you. You can interlace your fingers or just reach your hands. Or if that's uncomfortable, you can always just make fists. But we're going to reach our hands behind you, opening up that chest, curling our spine forward, using our core muscles to support the back. You can always reach the hands up or down by your hips, or you can keep them a little bit interlaced if you want a little bit more of an advanced opening through the collarbones. Breathing slowly, finding that gentle breath. Slowly curling all the way up, opening up the spine again, reaching those fingers down towards the floor and step back to all fours. Nice strong connection through the spine. Inhale to extension and exhale round as we move into cat and cow. Again, I'm trying to keep that nice articulation through the whole spine. Evenly, trying not to lock out my elbows or dump weight into my low back. I'm really trying to keep the weight evenly distributed as I inhale and exhale round through the spine. I'm also adding a little bit of extra articulation through the shoulders. You can see kind of draw the shoulder blades down around, getting a little bit more movement between the scapulas as I head into those beautiful circular movements of the spine. Inhale at the bottom and exhale as I round at the top. Finding that beautiful movement. And you can see I'm kind of letting my elbows get a little bit soft, so I have a little bit more articulation through the upper back or the thoracic spine. Remembering the head is an extension of the spine, so the movement there shouldn't be any more extreme than it is anywhere else. Nice, big, cyclical movements through the body. Inhale, open, exhale. Rounding through that spine, and again back to neutral. Inhale, open up, exhale, round. I'm going to walk my hands a little bit further forward and round back, and then inhale, coming forward again, opening up the spine, focusing on that nice sequence. Now, you don't need to come all the way to that kind of upward facing dog position. You always just come to a plank if this is too much on your back too quickly. So take this as you need it, nice and slow. Move at your own pace. Exhale, rounding. And inhale, coming forward, opening up the sternum and the chest, trying not to lock my elbows or really dump a lot of extra weight into my low back, but I'm still trying to keep that abdominal connection to support the spine and the shoulders and arms working to support the elbow joints. It's really easy to lock out our joints, but we really want to strengthen the muscles around our joints just so that we have a little bit more balance through the whole body. Beautiful, nice, strong body. Tuck those toes under, and you're going to press back to your downward facing dog. And again, we're going to start to sequence the spine. If this is too much, you can always stay down on your knees, or you can keep it as a minimal sequence, kind of keeping that nice, just gentle connection, just as we did earlier. But if you'd like, you can take it as a little bit more of an extreme movement. You can even add that bend of the knees to get a little bit more articulation through the low back. Pressing forward, and again, exhale, pressing back, sequencing the spine, getting that gorgeous body movement. And again, pressing back through the spine, opening up the chest and shoulders. Again, forward, exhale, pressing it back. Just kind of headed into walking out our dogs from side to side. Now you can see I'm taking this as a little bit more movement. So I'm not just taking it into my hamstrings and calves, but I'm really rocking from side to side, really opening up those hips. So I'm getting that nice big stretch through the shoulders, and now I'm going to just ground down to the floor, creating nice long body, relaxing the neck as I open up through those hamstrings and calves. Creating a strong base, pressing down. Not releasing, but pressing and opening through the back body. Slowly start to twist, opening up that side body, taking a nice big circle for 2. Big circle, opening up that side body, waking up that strength in the bottom arm, and reverse those circles for 2. Reaching, opening up that chest, and right back down. Switch to the other side. Reaching down, out, and up. Down, out, and up. Overhead, and reverse it down, around. Reaching down, and then open through the side body, and again, down, around. Opening up, reaching long. And recover right back to that beautiful downward facing dog, walking out those hips. Should feel really nice. Reaching long through the body. Reach that leg up to the ceiling, and you're going to just open up through that hip. Nice and long, opening up the hip. Deep breath. Now I'm going to reach around, tucking through and open for 4 each direction. Nice big circles through the leg. Opening up that hip. And opening up. And then I get to reverse it. Big release through the spine. Reversing those circles, opening up the body. Really finding the mobilization in the back. Feeling that gorgeous big spiral. We're going to very gently start to extend that leg and tuck it back in as you twist open into a side plank. Now you can reach that leg up, or you can always bring the foot down to the floor if you'd like, and still keep that nice connection through the side body. But if you lift up, you'll feel a little bit more work in that inner thigh. You're going to tuck right back in, extending up through the body, tuck that knee into the chest and right back out and up. And again, tucking that knee into the chest and right back out, really flossing out the muscles, really making them work all the way through their attachment points. Reaching, curling, draw the core in, then extending, opening. Beautiful articulation. Twist that knee across, bring it to the same knee as elbow, and then down for our pigeon. And you can kind of flex that foot, extending a little bit further forward. You can always tuck the back toe under and extend through the back leg if you want a little bit more opening into that hip flexor, or you can always leave the foot down. Whatever feels good to you. You can also always zigzag. Take your hand to your thigh, not your knee, as we reach forward, rounding through the spine. Inhale, opening. And again, rounding forward and opening. Still finding that spinal sequence, like your spine is a links of chain, or like a wave curling in ashore, and then the back current pulling you back up. Feeling that gorgeous inhale to extend through the body, and then just slowly come down. You can drop the toes down or keep the foot flexed, but we're just going to relax our hands and see if we can go a little deeper into this stretch. And we're just going to hold this, finding almost a moment of yen in this practice, finding that release. And with each breath, you can go a little deeper into the stretch. You can take your hands, whatever feels comfortable for you. Hands underneath your head, hands to the floor, hands reaching behind you, trying to keep those hips nice and square. With each breath, sinking a little deeper into the floor. Really roll your hips forward, lengthening the body. Curl that spine right back up, opening up the sternum. We're going to head into a little bit of a twist. Now, if you feel like this is too much for your body, do not worry about it. You can just stay in that extended position. You can tuck the toe under, and you're going to twist towards that front knee. And you're kind of using my back arm to kind of create leverage to open up through that hip a little bit more, trying to keep both my shoulders down. I can also keep the foot under if I want a little bit less extreme opening in that hip. And just take the twist that feels right for you. As you breathe, finding your prana, finding that breath, opening up the sternum, opening up your chest. Slowly start to make your way back. Roll towards your front hip. You're going to grab that back leg and twist it around, finding that beautiful long spine again, grounding your hips down into the floor. You're going to ground that hip down, opening up through the hip flexors, reaching high with the opposite arm as top leg, and twist towards that top leg, looking over your back shoulder. Opening up the chest, opening up the spine. Beautiful, gorgeous long bodies. Breathing gently as you feel that beautiful sternum. Breathing slowly, finding that groundedness and that twist as that prana starts to open up the body. Again, you can always keep the hand up if that twist is too much and stay forward, or you can keep that nice beautiful rotation as you ground the hip down, opening up the chest and shoulders and back as you find that beautiful extended position through the spine. Slowly start to recover. You're going to place both of the knees on top of each other for a full pigeon. Knees nice and stacked, reaching up high, opening through the hips. And you can always pop a cushion underneath your hips as you fold forward. You can keep your hands interlaced behind you down by your hips. You can keep your hands on your feet. But if you'd like to, again, add that big shoulder stretch, start to reach those hands out or reach them up. Opening up the chest and shoulders, getting a deepening of that stretch, that really opening of the spine. Feeling that gorgeous release through the body. Breathing slowly. Feeling that beautiful length. Kind of both getting kind of the extra weight to pull you forward as it also creates more of an active stretch through the shoulders as you breathe gently, sinking and deepening into your stretch. Slowly let those arms draw you right back up. Open that sternum. Feel those hips release. Now assist that leg because it will feel a little bit like, whoa, Nelly, and start to bring it back behind you. Back to that pigeon. Tuck the back toe under to find that strength. Draw the abs in. Press the weight down into the hands. Tuck that knee back into the chest. And you're going to come into a very low lunge. Now, it's basically that we're reopening up that front hip, grounding down into the floor. Don't dump the weight, but keep it nice and strong and lifted. Now, if you'd like, you can tuck the back toe under and find a nice crescent lunge that's really deep. You can also, it'll feel a little challenging, so you can always use your hand on like a chair, or you could put your hand on a yoga block or just on your knee. But otherwise, try to extend both or one hand up, getting that nice, big, deep stretch as well as a stability challenge in that extreme kind of deep lunge as you come forward out of that beautiful crescent lunge. And you're going to just very gently tuck that knee back in so you'll feel those abs engage and extend the legs in opposition, really reaching that leg skyward, opening up. You'll feel a lovely active stretch through both sides. Slowly, you can either square your hips and bring the toe down, or you can leave the foot skywards as we move into our Chaturanga Uttanasana. So you can either come down if this is in your practice, and then both legs will come together as you find your baby cobra, or you can always lift up into your upward facing dog. Again, not collapsing, but lengthening, creating more space, more breath space, more room for your prana to move through the body as you find that gorgeous connection through the spine, through the core, as you lift that sternum to the sky. Slowly coming back and down. You can tuck the toes under. You can bend the knees with the knees lightly bent, or draw the abs in. Either way, as you press right back up and into your downward facing dog, spiraling forward and exhale back. Again, finding a little bit more liquid movement in the spine with each practice. Each curl creates more space. Again, you can always bend your knees as we move back into our beautiful walking out of our dogs side to side, opening up the hamstrings, opening up those hips. Now, not coming all the way into our shoulder flexibility. We're going to move into some little tricep presses, really working that upper body, creating more stability and strength as we exhale back up. Little press. Strong core. This should feel really strong and really engaging as you press back open again, opening up the hips as we reach the second leg up nice and high, opening up the hips, really feeling that hip kind of being drawn open by the weight of the heel, pulling you towards the floor, getting that beautiful hip opening. It should feel delightful. Breathing slowly. Grounding down into the floor as we head into those circles. Again, it's 4 in each direction. 3, and reversing it. Here we go. Reverse those circles. Should feel so good. And feeling that liquid movement of the spine, liquid movement of the hip. Feeling that gorgeous spiraling through the pelvis. Extending it up. Opening up that hip, beautiful long spine, feeling that nice strong connection. Again, we're going to hug that knee in and again into that side plank. So you're going to create that little twist, opening up through the side. You can again lift the leg or bring it down, keeping that nice connection. But if you're going to lift, find that inner thigh connection, ground down into the floor, really find that strength in the bottom arm. You can always keep it down or you can lift it up. You can always open into this kind of like side stretch, or you can kind of really challenge everything, more arm work. So really find that strength here in the inner thigh and here in the biceps and triceps, pushing down into the floor as you slowly start to recover by drawing that knee back and in. Nice strong connection, keeping everything really strong as you come back and into center and extend that leg up. And we're going to just tuck that knee into your chest again, curling that spine and right back out. Beautiful long body. And again, tuck that chin into the chest, curling it in and right back out, nice and long. Each time getting a little bit more movement through the body. Extending it up, curling it in, and right back up, opening up, getting a little bit more movement, curling it in. Bring it to the opposite knee to elbow, same knee to elbow, and come down again into that beautiful pigeon. Again, bring that foot forward, and you can always tuck the back toe under, but you want to kind of always keep that nice connection. You can always pop a cushion under your hips at any point if that feels better. Pressing down, again, not on the knee, but on the thigh to really open up. So you don't want to put any actual pressure on the knees. You can tuck that back toe under, get a little extra opening through the hip flexors, squaring your hips, opening up that chest, feeling that gorgeous opening through the body. Feeling that prana, that breath. Bringing the fingertips forward. And again, we're going to round through the spine and curl back up. Feeling that beautiful movement through the body and right back up. Feeling that gorgeous sequencing. I just love this because it really makes me get a little bit deeper later into my pigeon because I already feel like I've got a little bit more mobilization around the hips. Go ahead and bring it down again, placing the hands on the forehead, or you can always place the hands just on down by the floor, but you're really trying to square the hips, bringing that back hip forward, lengthening the spine, trying to keep everything as square as possible. If you had 2 headlamps on your hips, they'd be going the same direction, forward. Breathing in with each breath, see if you can go a little deeper. Slowly start to make your way back up, and you're going to start to shift kind of towards your front hip, kind of opening up as you start to take that beautiful twist. Again, hand is on the thigh, not the knees. You start to rotate, lengthening up, not on the knee, on the thigh. So you really get that nice twist looking over your back shoulder. Now again, if this doesn't feel right for you, you can always just stay straight forward, lifting up, or you can always stay in the forward fold, whatever is appropriate for your body. This is your practice. You can see I have my back toe tucked under to get a little bit more hip opening, but you don't necessarily need to. You can always keep that foot long and down towards the floor, creating a little bit more space for the rotation and a little bit less intensity in the front, in the leg that's extended behind. You're going to roll again towards that front leg, kind of letting the hips open. You're going to draw that knee around into that beautiful spiral. I'm going to keep my foot grounded into the floor, hips grounded into the floor, reach the opposite arm up as front leg or top leg, and rotate, looking again over that back shoulder, trying to get a little bit taller. And I'm really pushing almost down with my back arm to create a little bit more length through the spine. Feeling those hips sink down into the floor, and with each breath, it's like my spine is getting a little bit taller and has a little bit more space in it. You can find your Ujjayi breath again if you'd like, just that cyclical breath in and out through the nose. You're going to very slowly start to shift your weight out of it. So you can kind of start to feel the breath kind of start to pull you back forward. And you're going to stack those knees for a full pigeon, crisscrossing those knees. And you can always bring it so the ankles and the knees are more over each other, but if you can, try to get both of those knees over each other. Again, you can always pop a bolster under your hips as you lean forward. Again, you can keep your hands on your knees or on your feet, or you can reach your hands behind you, either together or just extended. Taking again that deep stretch through the shoulders, that active stretch, both kind of drawing you forward and deeper through the stretch in the hips and back, as well as a deepening in the stretch of the shoulders. Breathing slowly. With each breath, see if it can sink you a little bit deeper and a little bit lower. Slowly roll all the way up, opening up the chest and shoulders. And release. Oh, feels so lovely. Go ahead and bring that back leg back around behind you into that extended pigeon. Again, squaring those hips. You can bring that foot forward, grounding down into those hands, opening up the chest, ground down through that back leg, strong abdominals as you start to press into your hands to lift that knee right back up to your chest, nice and strong. And again, you can step back, or you can keep that nice strong connection here and extend the leg up, opening through the body, whichever feels right for you, feeling that nice big stretch. Reaching the legs in opposition. And you don't have to worry about keeping your hips square for this one. You can kind of let them open a little bit so that you can get that nice deep full stretch through both sides. Now again, you can keep the foot down towards the floor, or you can keep the foot up as we move into our chaturanga. So you're going to keep that nice strength and take the practice wherever is appropriate for you today, and lengthen up to baby cobra, or all the way up into that beautiful upward facing dog. Again, I'm not trying to keep my elbows locked or really lock out my low back, but I'm still tucking the tailbone under, almost like I'm trying to pull my sternum open. So I'm getting mobilization in the thoracic or the upper back, not just the low back. Nice, beautiful big inhale and exhale. Feeling each breath a little deeper. Slowly roll through each vertebrae, coming back down. Again, tuck the toes under, or you can always stay on your knees as you press up to your downward facing dog. And slowly walking those feet forward. And you can see I'm kind of shifting in my hips to let my legs kind of shift side to side. Feeling that gorgeous kind of stretch. Pressing back, opening up the collarbones, relaxing the head and shoulders. Keeping that nice release. You're going to go ahead and walk those feet forward, one at a time. Soft knees, keeping that nice connection. Relax the collarbones, and we're going to just gently ragdoll the upper body, crisscrossing those arms, letting the body shift from side to side. keeping that nice connection round through the spine and lengthen and deep into your forward fold. And again, just keep that nice rounding through the spine, spreading those toes out towards the floor. And you're just going to place the hands on the floor. You can reach your opposite hand to the opposite foot, and you're going to bend that knee so that you rotate open. Again, you can always take your hand to your knee, or you can keep it on your foot, whatever feels right for you. And then we'll just gently release. So you can always reach those hands up or interlace them as you reach back and over the head, opening up, and you can twist. Now, this is the slightly more advanced version. So I'm bringing my opposite leg straight and my opposite knee bent. And then I'm twisting my shoulder to my knee that is bent. Again, you can always do this again with the hand here on the foot, or again on the same foot or on the thigh, whatever feels right for you. But a slightly more intense version, again, that has more shoulder opening and chest opening, is this lovely kind of position where you interlace and bind the fingers behind you, finding that nice slow, deep stretch. Again, back through center, round through the sun. Let the arms feel heavy as you lengthen the legs, deepening that nice big stretch. And again, at any point this is too much, you can bend the knees, or you can always keep the hands a little bit less extreme over your head, making sure you're creating no tension in the body. Again, bend those knees, rounding up, letting those hands pull you down, opening up through that sternum, opening up through the chest. And then standing up, finding your mountain pose, grounding yourself down to the floor. Again, I'm not locking my knees, I'm dropping my pelvis, but I'm engaging my legs like I'm a mountain growing out of the ground, pressing down through the legs, activating the quads as I find that beautiful prana, or that breath. Nice big inhale into sun salutation, down through heart center. And again, reaching up, peace and compassion through our hearts, our voices, and our minds, opening up that third eye. Beautiful, deep breath, letting the hands again come down to your sides. And we're going to gently come to laying on our backs. Make your way slowly and carefully and gently bend those knees in. You can give yourself a little rock from side to side, releasing any tension, or you can bring yourself into happy baby. And I'm kind of pressing opening again, creating that little rock from side to side, feeling that gorgeous release through the low back and hips. I just love this. It kind of feels like I get a little bit more space in the low back. Slowly hugging those knees in. You can always you can stay on your ankles, or you can kind of stay on your feet, whatever feels good for you, kind of hugging the knees to whatever position feels good. And whatever it is, you want to feel the weight of the legs. And again, you can always kind of give yourself a rock, kind of reversing a lot of that hip kind of internal rotation into external rotation. Slowly release those knees in and float one foot down, the other foot down. And if there's anything you need to do before we head into our Shavasana, take a moment to do it. And then we'll gently find our way down to laying on our backs in our full extended corpse pose. And you can just start with a gentle body scan, starting at the top of the body, coming all the way down to your toes, and see if there's any places you're holding any extra tension. And take a moment to bring your prana or your breath there. Start to deepen your breath, wiggling the fingers and toes. Whenever you're comfortable and ready, roll to your side and make your way up to a nice seated position. Again, sit however is comfortable for you. You can always pop a cushion under your knees. As you again inhale to the ceiling, exhale down through heart center, compassion and thoughtfulness into the heart. May compassion and thoughtfulness be in our words as we inhale, reach right back up to the ceiling and exhale back to the third eye. And may compassion and thoughtfulness be in our thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel better and a little bit more aligned. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or your evening. And if you want more workouts, always feel free to visit me at my website, helenawellness.com. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you there. Have a fantastic day.